Sup, nerds, and welcome back to Microtopia. If you watched the last episode, you know I have created something of a problem for myself. I after rearranging our base, we're a little too efficient now. We are getting so much energy in. We are sitting on almost 1,400 energy pods, and as quickly as we're feeding the queen, like turning this on, you can see there is no break in her eating, like none at all. That's about as quick as can be. We have no food going out to the inventors. Our food delivery system's going great, but dead ants are coming over here carrying energy pods, which is a problem. So the only real solution, after having given this a couple days of thought, is to chill out on some of this food gathering. So I'm going to go ahead and kill some of these extra lines coming. So this one follows over here. Oh, that one's big too. Let's kill you. A little soft food production coming from this one as well. And how about here? What are you going to? Anyway, we'll clear out a few of these, make sure that these numbers start going down a little. And this should also free up some ants to go into this very empty looking counter that's supposed to be feeding food to the inventors. The nice thing is I can always just turn those counter gates back on, and as new ants are bored, they'll fill it back in if we find ourselves starting to run a little low on energy. But I gotta be honest, I don't see that being a problem anytime soon for the foreseeable future. In fact, I'm going to grab some of these right now. Just rehome them. This system sometimes a little annoying. All right. One moment. There they go. Each of them carrying a little bit of food, but we're going to get some food getting to these inventors, getting our research rolling again, and start making progress. Over on our other island, we have a different sort of problem going in that I was having trouble figuring out what it was we should be doing, but in the end, what I decided was that we need to start gathering some of these new rare materials. So things like glass and so on. Actually, with that much glass, we should be able to now unlock this. Perfect. Then we can just unlock how to make true glass out of the smelter and eventually get a large stockpile. And I don't know what the light bulb's for. I imagine something. But we can start knocking out some things over there. I'm not sure if I should start smelting glass yet. I think I'm going to hold on that until we have a purpose for it. We still need to get larvae over to the island, and I think the best way to do that's going to be going for this ant launcher, which we need to reveal a jungle island, which I think to do that we need to put a radar out over here. So that's going to be our next goal, is if that's even an option. That's not an option. Okay. Another thing, I need to start laying foundation when I build. So really the next thing I need is, why isn't this working? Hang on. We're going to move you. Because they should be, oh, it's backwards. It's backwards. Okay. Get that in there. Make sure that this is working on iron plates. And let's drop in the stockpile for this. Alright, that looks correct now. Yeah, it's a depositor, so that's just any extras that aren't being used for this are going to go in there in case we ever fill up on iron plates. But this needs a couple iron plates to build so that they can go back home. We have a bunch of extra drones here. What can I set them to do? We're getting iron, we're getting glass, we're getting this. We'll need rubble eventually, but to do that, why don't I make a recycler out here? So facility. Don't think I need this yet, but maybe I make it just to see what we can make with that. Do I not have I don't have the recycler unlocked. That's why. So we are. Oh, we have larva storage unlocked. That's right. Go ahead and toss this back on our main island by our larva run. Just just in case. I mean we're burning through them as quickly as we can get them, but just in case, it's good to have that there ready to go. This floral isle scanner, I'm sure, is what I need to reveal the jungle, which will open that up and will open up the ant launcher. That will let me start launching digger ants over to the new island where they will be able to start digging up scrap copper and glass shards. So that is the solution there. Have to incubate larvae over there. I'm still not sure how to do that aside from maybe flinging ants that are carrying larvae over. That might be the solution. I think I'm no, I can't. I have to dig to collect the rubble, and that's to get concrete and oh, once I unlock the light bulb, hang on, I'll be able to unlock 75 ants and see what that gets me. So that's the next goal then, which is right now. There it goes. Oh, no, pod worker ant. Can be equipped with energy pods to increase its speed and lifespan without an energy pod. Well, this will be a good way to use some of this extra energy I've been gathering. Okay. Huh. I'm curious about that. And this is a slightly better. Okay. Interesting. That might be worth getting. Just get some ants that live a little longer. That'll be another way to bring up the population and start filling some of these roles. But we can see we've had success in getting more ants over to feed the inventors, and we can see that's paying off dividends. And we're no longer having ants carrying energy pods just hanging out waiting to die. So that's good. This is still very full. I expect it to stay very full for a long time. Looks like we're starting to eat into our back supply, which is what I wanted to make sure we were capable of doing. So it's not perfect yet, but we have the energy stocks to be able to reduce our consumption for a bit. Maybe a trash can would be good right here on the old loop. Like, just in case they're carrying something before they go to all the combiners, they drop it off. Like, I don't like the idea of just throwing away energy, but it's better than carrying it and never being able to combine. Let's see if that worked. Nope. No, I think that's... Why isn't this working? Maybe the Elder Trail just can't do it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So if they have any energy, they drop it off real quick, and then they get back to this. Okay, that should keep the ants moving efficiently. Why do I have this up? We got our 100. We can get the recycler now. Heading back over to the desert island. That's where I want to put it, I think, because this is where all the ants... Well, we'll probably put two. We'll put one for the old diggers as well, but for now, we'll get a recycler. And let's... Does look like an ant comes out the other side, maybe? Or, oh, it connects directly into a stockpile, I think. Okay. We'll move that in a time, but it takes wire, concrete, and iron plate. Ah, so that's why we need to make those. Okay. We'll get an old path aligned there in time, and that will let us bring those in. Does it already have the iron plate it needs? No. Where has all the iron plate gone? We do have this launch pad as well. Are you? No, you're set to make iron plate. We can put 3 down this line. Just get them moving again. We had our next report. Very few worker ants and in general died. We managed to catch the energy problem in time. All the drones are dying. The inventors are, of course, dying because that's what they do. The diggers are dying because we don't have the recycler. So we'll work on getting recyclers. I did look at what it needs, realize it needs concrete, which means we have to get the rubble. So, in the meantime, what I am doing is over here, I have gathered some basic plans for foundations that we're laying down. Our recyclers here, we'll move it on to the foundations when it's time. It's taking the first of the iron. What I really need to do, though, is start getting the iron plate being made more efficiently. I think I need to just bite the bullet and accept that I have a real facility down here now that we're going to expand out, that it's not temporary anymore, and just lay things out. So uh, we're getting our iron plates here. We're going to start filling out the foundation, and as the foundation fills in, we will build a real smelter layout, a real workshop layout, all of that. Looking over here, it seems that our diggers have finished with that first can that I set them on. So we're going to start clearing out this area with them. I want all this trash gone, basically. Like it's a lot of extra materials that we're dealing with over here that we don't need to be dealing with. So let's reroute this path a little. That's a very inefficient route they've been taking. These are just some of our gatherers. How did they get in here? Ah, through this. I mean, this is still fine for a connection point. So we'll just make sure we're still gathering there, and then let's clear out these ones over here next. So, one moment while I reposition all of this. There we go. That will get them started to set up here instead, and we will just send our friends over here onto their new work. And erase all this. And we'll just keep doing that, working on clearing out space in this main base area, and if we have to, we'll reposition the queen and everything, though I honestly don't want to with this working as well as it has been. Our energy seems to have stabilized somewhere around 1,000. We are emptying some of these sections, which is nice. If I see any reason to increase it up again, I will. It's just as easy as that now. It's nice not having to worry about it constantly overfilling, though. Over on the desert, I started getting impatient. I went ahead and built all these smelters so that we can start getting more iron plates made and another workshop to do that. I'm looking at this. We're keeping everything full for now, but if we're going to expand any further, I'm probably going to need more drones, but we'll see. We'll see. This is all going to be moved onto these foundations once they're there. Our first set of foundations are here, and I'll make some copper smelting operations. We need wire after all for the recycler, but we still need to figure out how to get larvae over here. Our research has been coming in. It has. I realize the floral island scanner is how we're going to get the jungle, which that's going to open this, and that's going to open up our ant launcher. So this is our next project. It's getting the floral island scanner. We just need to reveal the jungle. We don't need to even go over there. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Check in with you in a moment. Floral Island scanner has been unlocked. We need to build the concrete monument to get any further, and that's going to unlock the small bridge here, I'm sure, which that's over there. We need concrete to get concrete. We need to get larvae over there to get larvae over there. We're going to need to launch ants. So, our best bet to launch some ants over is going to be to build the Floral Island scanner right here, which needs concrete. And now I'm stuck again. How am I... Can drones pick up larvae? Is that what I need to do before launching them off? Do I have any even in this? No. But I bet that's what I need to do. Just fill that up real quick. Let's reverse this trail. So we're dropping them off first. And then once we have a full load of larvae, we can bring this, we can dispense this, have drones pick them up on their way across, maybe. Let's try that out. Put a dispenser right here. We have a drone coming right now. It's grabbing the buddy. Taking off with it. Okay. Alright. So with that in mind, down here now we have to build a... Like, right as they come out, we need to do this. They need a carry gate. We've got a bunch of new gates now that we're not using, but we'll get the carry gate, run it up there, put in an incubator or 3. And then loop it. Sorry, no. If they have a carry, if they're still carrying after these incubators, we'll just put the other 2 down right now. It's this way, yep. Then if they are still, we'll just start getting that. If they're still carrying after they've got it, they loop. So let's get that carry gate in. They are still carrying, they just loop right back around to there. Otherwise, they head back onto the path and act like a drone that isn't carrying a little baby ant. So this should be shifting some of our ant population over. A little concerned about that, honestly, but we'll do this at least for a bit, and then we can move the larvae storage if we need to. We just for sure need to incubate 5 here. As for these go in. And yes, I see that I've functionally done my highway system again. As I said, once I get the foundations laid out, we'll build our carry system back and make this look proper. This is just getting us started. That is a lot of iron already. That's excellent news. Alright, here comes a drone. Are you still carrying a larva? No, you are not the one that I was watching. Scared me for a moment. I think it's this one coming in right now. Right here. Yeah, you're carrying something. You've got that little baby ant in your mouth. God, the eyes are adorable. Alright, go ahead and drop that off. And we will see what we can do about getting a bunch of ants incubated. I just want to watch him go through this process and make sure that, well, that we're doing it right. At some point I need to get maybe even just an old gate there, but again, without a recycler, I'm not sure what the point is. And a recycler is going to be rather worthless until we have something to recycle. We're actually getting too many drones again because we have decent production, so let's... You guys aren't picking that up? Start picking that up. What else can I gather? Might as well have them be gathering while they're here. Let's get some more copper. Nice thing is we can make multiple counters off of one node, so just if any make it to this node, then they end up on this route. Was that just mine? No, that's hauling. Okay. I was an ultra, that's why. Alright, off you go. No, wait. There we go. Off they go. And we've incubated our first small worker here. Of course, if we're making those, we need to start looking into combiners, which means I need to be making screws somewhere. The obvious place is, in fact, right here. Dumped out that old, or that extra iron, we'll pick that up in time. Make this except screws instead. Honestly, this just needs to be 2 ants at the most. You can go back to be reassigned. We'll get our combiner up. We'll start using some cascades, and we'll get all this organized because this is becoming too much of a mess, even for me. Let's be honest here. But we are grabbing more copper, so there's that. Grabbing up all the loose resources is going to be nice because then I can just always move the stockpiles around. We're just filling up these small ones while we have them. We do have the large stockpiles unlocked now. We will be using them as our general main stockpiles going forward. Because why not make a bigger space? Let's get some research. We've got a bunch of inventors sitting there waiting to get stuffed full of food, so they'll be replaced quickly enough. Okay, this is still full, so it's not like it's going to torch our production here. It's just every so often some are going to go there. Okay, that's actually pretty perfect. We've incubated 5 larvae on the desert island. Means we can unlock the counter end as well. So we can just keep a counter going for sections of the trail, and then say if we want to say have 5 counter or a counter of this blah blah on here, but once you reach that, then don't count anything beyond it. There's cases where I've wanted to be able to turn off a counter, but now I can. I think it's a testament to this game that despite my best efforts to keep this simple, this is turning into its whole new base. So first of all, we have our foundations here, which means we can finally get some organization. Buildings snap onto the foundations very cleanly onto these little pegs that already exist. And you don't have to fiddle around as much with trying to get things lined up perfectly, nicely, cleanly. So we can just take everything that we had here and we can move it here instead. Oh, we'll just put that up like that. Then what's nice as well is that the trail nodes also snap to these same points. So I can do that, 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 and then bring it up and down here and in. Up, down here, and it joins back in. Up, down here. And it's just nice seeing, aside from the desert waves making, like the heat waves making it wiggle a bit, it's just nice seeing all of this lighting up so cleanly, being, at least to me, so easy to read compared to what we had before. I mean, I can even move this down one to sharpen the view just a little bit. And there's, why not? Since I've got this many, why don't I just build a 5th smelter right here? Same thing. We get a divider line off of here, put it there, put this up, and join it right in to that same point. Okay, let's drag that over just a bit for neatness. Still drop it off right there. And then we just take this counter that was feeding into it, bring that up here instead, and bring our little buddies, which are all small worker ants at this point, worth noting, over to there. Oh, and of course, erase. Like, this whole fiasco. What's going on here? Well, we'll make sure that that still has at least one ant going to it. I think that's just the smelter I made to keep this chain running. Yeah, it is. Okay, and then this one counts 4 up that way. Perfect. I think this one's just making plates. Yeah, it's just another one making some plates. Actually, we'll make this 5. Just keep the iron being smelted. Been readjusting the paths, collecting as much as we can. We obviously need to get some more work here. We have idle workers, which I don't like, but things are starting to look a little better. What else do we have going on? We have all this glass being gathered. Oh, this is needing to go out. And I've been thinking, I need fabric for some assemblers. I can make some of those new energy pod workers soon. Probably not here, but I can just make digging ants, and you can see I've got this setup right here. I'm ready to go with it. I can put in a cascade to make sure only the small workers go through that are old, and then I can run them into an assembler, run that assembler over to this mining, and start getting some rubble and start knocking out some of these big achievements that I need that are gating my research at this point. So that's the next step, is to build an assembler. To build an assembler, oh, that's the wrong one. Progression? No. Population? Assembler. Here we go. I need 20 fabric. To get 20 fabric, I need plant fiber. To get plant fiber, I should just take this path right here, this group of ants, and instead of having them go up there and wander around glass, because we picked up all the easy to get glass in the area, except for up here, but we already have some gatherers in the area who I will eventually pivot around to that. We're going to have, instead of this gate being for glass gatherers, we're going to have it be for plant cutters. So we'll just start cutting down some of these twigs. Twigs are renewable. As you pick them, any of these plant fiber things, as you pick them, new ones will spawn elsewhere. So it's honestly not so bad to just go for it and start picking whatever's closest to your base. So we'll get this, we'll get that, we'll get some of this out here. We'll just continue clearing up this area. Once we get miners that are going for iron, we'll obviously get these stacks of... Those are hard drives. I just realized these are little hard drives. So the implication really is that this is Earth after some kind of catastrophe, but these are little old school hard drives. This was the reading head. These were the optical discs. This is what an HDD looks like, what I'm storing all my videos on after they're done here. Alright, so we're gonna just work on getting some of the fabric right now. With that, we can kill this path and all this, and bring these ones down here. It is so tough sometimes to navigate these ants. This one I'm just going to move right over, and you as well. Alright, once you're able to group them together, it gets easier. And we'll just toss them all onto that path, start gathering some plant fiber, and I'll grab some of the extras off of this trail and send them to a workshop or 3 right here using this. This is perfect. And this is why I wanted the foundation. Get 3 workshops built right next to each other, very nicely and cleanly. Let's get some divider lines in here. We'll do it right in front of this one. There, there, there. Same thing. Trail up, trail up, trail up. We'll put in a large stockpile down here. Trail down, connect in, connect in, connect in, and we'll have this be fed off of our main line over here. We'll put another counter gate. I want this one. So here's the one issue with doing it like this is that it's not good for making lower priorities, but I can just shift this over and then extend the trail just a little more. And now this one is the lowest priority counter gate. So we'll get that built, and we'll get this trail going over here. And we want, I think, 4 ants going down here to make fabric when it comes. So we'll change this up to 4. Perfect. I don't know why it was default 4, but that works for me. What are you doing? Why aren't you going in? Because this section is trailed backwards. So, oh, we need a dispenser. Heh. Yeah, that could be important. You guys not cutting these down? Are drones not? No, everybody should be able to cut. Did I put the wrong path? No, it's yellow. This should accept fiber. Hang on. When I got plant cutting, cut down trees and plants to collect their fiber. And we can see the arrows are going here, so why aren't the hauling, foraging, and flying? What about the small workers? Are you able to hauling and foraging? Is it only large workers that can cut down plants? Have I been wasting ants over here this whole time? Hang on. Give me a big one. What are you doing? Hauling, foraging, and plant cutting. Okay. Alright. This was 3? No, it wasn't, but whatever it was, we're going to first do a counter of, yeah, we'll do a counter of 3, that's fine, or 4, that was probably what it was. And then we're going to put in a cast gate here. Enter if workers. I wonder, can I put multiple casts in? No, just one. So if I want to send multiple casts down, I have to select them individually. But for now, it's just regular workers that I have to worry about. I have unlocked the pod workers, but I don't have them in yet. So that was this trail right here? Yes. You go up here. So if they are of the appropriate cast, they go down. And if not, you go back up into the loop. Why? I don't. We'll just delete that. Oh, and we'll put a counter end right here on this. So if they go back into the loop, they don't count as part of the counter. Like I was saying, there are a lot of uses for that. So especially when chaining gates like this. So we'll get the cascade here. They have to be workers. So only workers are allowed down the plant cutting line. Little ones, I'm going to pull you away, and then I have to do this same thing up here. Well, that's disappointing, but good to know. Back in you all go. To be fed into the loop. Need to build the same structure here, though. We'll build a counter end right here. That feeds back into everything. And a cast gate that goes down to this. That only allows workers. Perfect. Not that one. What am I doing? Whatever one was getting the plant fiber is the one I have to do this all to. Thankfully, you can just overwrite trails. I don't... Hang on. Yeah, this was the one going back. Okay. So that should be fine. The plant cutters were this one. Same logic. Counter end goes there. Cascade goes down here. Workers, good. All right, so that should start doing. The problem is, of course, I don't have workers over here. I really need to finish. Oh, this. Okay, we have our first combiner. It's time to make some old gates. Time to lay out elder trails and get this starting to be filled with the soon to be deceased. I also need to figure out a recycler, but to get the recycler, I need rubble. Everything is depending on getting rubble, so that's what literally all of this is about at the moment. So, one moment. We know the drill with old gates. I know I don't have to explain that to you, but with these made now, we can just go ahead and get the workers combined. We also have a cascade here splitting the drones off for where I'm going to eventually be putting the recycler. Things will continue on here while we work to get all these resources in and start getting some workers down here now. Hopefully that should be pretty quick. I mean, we are getting larvae in. Yeah, here's our first worker already. In fact, I might just take this line and send it right into plant production instead of having it go through this whole process. Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to delete that, delete that. You go ahead and get back into the line. This is going to connect first to our chain of workers coming out. It's going to take 3 of them. I'll spin that trail around. There we go. So now, any workers that come through will first be dedicated to plant cutting, and after that, they'll be assigned out to other jobs. That seems right to me. Let's just watch this one be born. Heads down the trail. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Should be split off right here instead of joining the main line. And you are. Alright, so that one's going to start cutting down plants. We'll get plant fiber. Back at the main base, that should all be handled already. We have such a good spread of workers throughout the population there. I'm not concerned about it. And yeah, this base is, like I said, starting to become a real base in a way that honestly is almost disturbing to me. The next thing I want to do is get the assembler built. So we need that fabric to do it. I'll be right back once we're there. I feel very silly, but very glad to know that that was just the issue, that I needed a real worker. I hadn't even considered that being a possibility. Still can't connect this, and yet still need to make the actual fabric, which will be happening down here, but why aren't you? You should actually be working already. There we go. Come back, grab your fabric, head up. There we go. No, they'll grab the fabric before they get split out into their different paths. Or the fiber. Right. Everybody else working? No. You're already done here? You guys just got here. Well, oh no, sorry. Let's start getting you all working on getting iron collected up here. I really do love that we can just click and drag nodes like this and move the stockpiles around and just keep things smoothly functioning. It's very nice. This game was very thoughtfully made. We're already at 9 fabric now, so it's time to build this assembler and start getting some digger ants going. So we'll get this right here. I'm really out of room, but I can just move this away. That's kind of done and taken care of. I'm not using copper at the moment anyway. And we'll take this, move it over here. We'll just redo this trail a little. There, there. There, there. You go like that. You go like that. Okay. And the reason why is, well, oh, that's kind of vaguely coffin shaped, isn't it? The reason why is when we build this assembler, we want to get our small ants to go through this before they do anything else. So we'll just make the main node of our old gate tap up there, and then start this whole process. So it's going to need a little more fabric, a little more iron plate, but it's coming time to being done. Then we take this, run this all the way down here, and start getting our builders working. We'll limit it, like we had to do with the other one, to just 5 coming out of this. And I do hope at some point I can figure out a better way to do that. If I get more, I guess I could assign them to other... Actually, that's perfect. Couldn't I just assign any further to starting to clear out this iron? There's no reason to just keep them sitting if I've got them. Well, I guess there is in that I don't want to burn all my regular workers into that. So, alright, for now, this will be good. Once that's done, we'll start getting in the rubble we need to start getting concrete and wire. We just need to make some smelters and fabricators for. We'll just readjust priorities when it comes time to that. It's not like we're short on copper. It's not like we're short on copper at all. In the meantime, for the research, we've gone ahead and unlocked the deconstructor and the casing. I noticed a slinger over here, so I'm going to start work on that. That can throw materials, and I'm hoping it's going to let us throw materials across islands, so that's how we can get some rubble back home in our main base, which is just kind of carrying on. Still sitting at around 1050 energy, so we are right on balance there. Our ant population is going up globally, so there are good things happening. Just without further research, this is pretty stalled out. I have rubble here. I've had rubble here this whole time. Right there. Alright. One moment. So am I a little frustrated? Yeah, absolutely. Is it the end of the world? Not at all. We've gone ahead and made our mining gates here. We can get that going, get the rubble in, start feeding it in, start getting everything on, old gate back. So we just made another counter here. We always have had extra diggers sitting here, so we might as well put them to use. I did that counter gate a little wrong, I think. Nope, it's going. Oh, I see what I did. That's fine. Rubble's more important than iron anyway, so It's going to prioritize the rubble slightly over the iron. But off they go to do their work in the quarry. God, I wish I mean, they're huge. How did I miss this? They are enormous. That's 1,000 rubble each, basically. Oh well. Oh well. There's the rubble coming in. At the same time, I've gone ahead and built out our rubble smelting facilities. Need to actually just tell it to do so. Or, wait, is this... I thought concrete was made here. Do I still need to unlock concrete? I think I still need to unlock concrete. Okay, yeah, I need to just gather the rubble first. So once we're able to unlock concrete, we'll get that in, we'll get ants connected up, we'll get that going. With concrete, we'll be able to make recyclers and make this whole process a little more efficient. Those are pretty easy. We'll just stick a cascade for the digger ants when they get old and die. Or maybe I'll just make them their own little death area first. I don't know. So now I suppose the real question is going to be, how do we get this copper over here? And I think that's what the slinger's going to be for, at least at first, is to get that material over. Because we've been draining ants out of here to go over there, this whole process has slowed down just a little. I think once we have a bridge, it'll pick back up, but you can see we don't have many ants doing food delivery right now, but we are getting research still. It's just noticeable when a good number of your larvae are going off to live somewhere else. Seems like the Queen's energy has stabilized right around 909, and I just wonder if that's a limit of the density of this food, because sure, there is that tenth of a second where maybe a third ant would do well here. But, I mean, I'll experiment with putting a third ant in and see how that does. We'll just make that top priority, but it really feels like maybe, just maybe, Weenie here needs better food to move on in life. But we'll get this moved over and see what we can do. No, honestly, that slowed it down. There's all the movement time. Okay, lesson learned. Drop this back down to 2. Should I change things? I'll get that back in, but you, my guy, can just kind of head back into the loop. Have our assembler over here on the desert. We're tossing in the screws right now to start making some diggers and give some little ants a new purpose in life. We'll get some rubble over here. This has the copper and everything. This should have the recycler up and running quickly. At this point, needs just wire, concrete, and iron plates. We have the iron plates. We have the rubble, and we have some extra ants here. Oh, why do I have an inventor? Never, no, no. Okay, you're only combining workers, and if we get full-grown workers, we'll figure something out. But those do not belong here. We do not get inventors in this household. You go over here to die. Actually, I'm going to throw you into the recycler line. That's a better death. But yeah, we'll get that going. I think the thing that I like most about the foundations are the consistency they provide. Everything is the same design or a symmetry of it. It all flows, it all functions, and we can look over at other examples to see what's working, what's not, and why it might not be. So here, I'm going to start making my copper blocks. It's not like I don't have plenty of copper stockpiles to feed into it, so I'll put that there. We'll run the connection into it through here. We'll run the old gate out right here and use that. Nope, not that line. Just once I've dropped off, run it over here into that chain. And yeah, we'll just put that there to be a little neater. And then we go look down here at our path and go, okay, let's add a counter. 4 smelters, 5 ants. With that, we start getting copper. Everything back to working. The next drone flight is coming just as our rubble stockpiles are going up. I'll be honest, I really had been hoping for better at this point. Like, I really, really did want to. Okay, you're taking iron. Why are you holding a screw? Why are you holding just a random iron block? I have questions about these 4, but those questions will serve another time, another place. But yeah, I'd really been hoping we'd be able to start recycling some things by now, seeing that in action. We're only 3 rubble away. We're not too far. We'll have concrete production capabilities in a moment here. Still feels bad. At least we got all these plants cut down and have a decent backstock of fabric. I don't know if we need this to keep making that. So yeah, we'll drop that off, set them all right here, and then all right, here's our report. Only 28 small workers actually died. That was probably here on the desert. 10 regular workers died, same thing. Our drones are droning and dying off. Our inventors all die, and our diggers all die. That's all to be expected. But, well, I have this whole fabric industry. But again, I don't know that it's strictly necessary right now. We can leave the infrastructure for it, get it back going, but in the meantime, I think we drop that number to 0. And this path that was feeding it with workers, with plants, we drop that to 0. Because right now, I think the most important next step is going to be concrete production. We have a smelter line here. We've got the starts of a workshop line here, so I'm just going to work off of the workshop line and keep that going. So one moment. Little embarrassing. I might have had the trails connecting all these paths here when they should have all, of course, been connecting down here. And we should have a divider coming from this out to each of these points. Don't know how I messed that up that badly. All of you go back to the divider and get reassigned out. There we go. That's looking like how I want it to look. So we'll get this rubble here. We'll drop it here into the connection for this section. We are making, well, we will be making concrete. In a moment, we have our collect rubble done. We can complete that. And that unlocks concrete at the smelter. Not workshops. Okay. We've reached 75 ants. We can make concrete cores, which require a diamond. I think those require new queens functionally. So we'll get back to that. Concrete monument we can afford. And once we have concrete monuments built on each island, we can start connecting bridges. It needs to be on 3 islands, so we need to get that out to the jungle. We'll leave this here as a structure to be built at some point, but if it's going to be more smelters, we'll just build that over here. We've cleared out the scrap line here, so all of these ants don't need to be here anymore. These were just collecting loose scrap that was in the area. That all needs to be replaced with diggers eventually, and we've got some going, and we've got some big iron stockpiles. So we'll get these guys, we'll set them free from this, clear that out, clear off any loose ends, and we'll take this path right here. Well, grab the inventors while I can. Where did I build it? Over there. So this path is going to connect over here into our concrete production line here. And that old gate's already all connected up, so we're good there. So I just need to take these same ants and bring them right onto that line. I'll keep an eye on our iron stockpiles, but I don't think we're anywhere near short of anything on this island, honestly. Oh, I forgot the dispenser. As I was saying, it's nice having the consistency so you can very quickly adjust when you see what went wrong. So we need the rubble that we're collecting all the way down here to dispense all the way up here. Done. This old gate then needs to... That's wrong. That's in the wrong place. Needs to be right here before they even pick anything up. I will do it from there up to this node. Drag that over and connect it there. Connect it there. Make sure that's an old gate. There we go. Our first concrete being smelted. With that milestone, I think I'm going to call this an episode here. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll get our recyclers built next time and get ourselves over to the jungle island. Feeling it slowing down a little, but that's because I wasn't paying attention to some things. Talk to you soon.